Good evening, everybody, and welcome to tonight's Zinzino business presentation. We're going to get this party started in 10, 15 seconds, and I'm very excited to come live here from Sweden. My name is Marco Passanante, and 35-year-old Italian Swedish, but actually I live in Barcelona nowadays. But today I flew into Sweden, and looks like summer already hit Scandinavia. They obviously had amazing weather for the last 10 days. So where you all coming in from? Always nice to hear where you guys are coming in from, and then we're gonna get this party started. Hello from Oslo. Hello, people from Sweden. I know we have people from all over Europe. So I'm super excited to be here, and hello from Denmark as well. Hello, Ragnar from Iceland. So I'm very excited, to come here and share the Zinzino business to all of you and share why Zinzino. And I know many of you are taking a first or second look at this industry and look at Zinzino. My background, very short, how I came across this style of marketing, which I've been part of for over 9 years, actually. Just like I know some of you taking first look, I was in that chair January 2009. At that time, I was working 9-10 hours a day at a big newspaper in Sweden. And every night I was actually playing soccer as well in second division, where I was a goalkeeper. So my life was really working, soccer, sleep. Working, soccer, sleep. And everybody's different, but I really felt that life must be more than this. And I wanted more. And luckily, I got a call, and a friend wanted to show me this style of marketing. And first, actually, I said, no, I don't have time, because I was leaving my home 7 in the morning, coming home 9:30 every night. So I thought, I don't have time. But at the same time, I was looking for other opportunities, and luckily I came to a presentation. And when I saw the presentation, was actually another company within the same style of marketing, and immediately I felt, good health products, and I saw immediately this style of marketing, building a web shop, e-commerce in combination with a franchise concept. I felt directly that this is the future, and here is something where I felt I could own my own time. So actually, I got started that night, and I told the man who made a presentation, who got me started, I said, I don't have a lot of time, but 7 hours per week I can put in. I'm very busy, but 7 hours, I see the potential. And that's how I got started. I just decided I'm going to give this 7 hours per week, and got started that way, January 2009, and had a very actually bad start the first 2-3 months. But you know how it is when you're new at something, and you want to be good at something, you have to be willing to do it bad enough times. So, but after 9 months, my 9th month, I actually passed my income I had of my job, and I decided to go full time. So in October, it will be 9 years that I've been doing this industry full time. So Zinzino, for me, I follow the company, know the founders in 2011. And I've been following this company for many years, and I know the people behind the company. So I felt when I walked away from my former company to start over with Zinzino late August 2016, I did it because I wanted to partner with a company where I could build my legacy. A company where I could stay for life. This is why I took that step to start over. And with Zinzino, why Zinzino? Number one, what is Zinzino? Look at the company. It's a Swedish publicly traded company, 12-year-old, which is operating today in 34 countries, headquarters in Gothenburg, Sweden. So I think that is also very, very positive that it's a publicly traded company, meaning very transparent. You can go and read the interim report. You can see the numbers. It's a profitable company, which is a key factor if you're going to find a company to partner up with and start building a business with, right? And you want to know it's a stable company that's going to be here 5 years from now, 10 years from now. So the company Zinzino, the people behind the company, of course, the people behind the company, because I think the culture of a company is the culture. I would say it's the DNA of the founders, right? And that's why it's very important who is the people running the ship. And there I feel 100% confidence with that. And then looking into the product line, as you know, we're in the health sector, and looking at health today, I guess you have seen and realized that health, I mean, one of the fastest growing sectors out there, and people are becoming more and more aware of what we eat has a huge impact on our health, on our long-term health. And then when it comes to supplements, I was a athlete, you know, all my life, and as a soccer player, I started taking supplements already when I was 13, 14 years old, because I was very busy with school and soccer, and I felt I need to supplement my diet. We all know there's a lot of studies proving that we need to supplement our diet. I don't know what you believe in, because as in everything, we can find why coffee is good for us. There's studies prove why it's bad for us, right? So I don't know what you believe, but I believe that taking a good supplement, it's crucial today. That's something I believe in. And look at the products. Our key product concept is the balance oil. And looking at the omega-3 balance oil, which I think many of you are aware of, that omega-3 is very important. It's actually today the most sold supplement, right? And why is Zinzino's product so special? Because, you know, everybody has the best product. I represent the product always, right? What separates our omega-3 and most products out there? Number one, I would say, of course, it has an active dosage. And then it also, the most important factor, because it takes up to 24 hours to reach a cellular level after you take omega-3 product. And oxidation process starts immediately once you take a product and an omega-3. And what protects our product so it's still active even when it reaches the cellular level is something called polyphenols. And polyphenols is taken from extra virgin olive oil. So this is what actually protects omega-3 so it reaches all the way down to cellular level. And why is it important today to take a omega-3 supplement? I mean, if you look at the facts out there, you know, the balance between omega-3 and omega-6, omega-6, in an easy way, you could say it's what we get in most things we eat, and often not so healthy, right? That omega-3 is what we get from fatty fish, from, of course, other sources as well. But looking at what science shows today, Zinzino we do a balance test to really check your balance in your blood, and science shows we need a 1-to-1 ratio of omega-3 and omega-6. And if you look at the, you know, last 40, 50 years, because of how we eat and our diet today, the balance actually become worse and worse. I mean, if you look already back in the 60s, it went up to 4-to-1 was actually the average, meaning you have 4 times more omega-6 than an omega-3. And every year, every decade just become worse and worse. And today, the average in Europe is actually 15-to-1. So the average European has 15 times more omega-6 than omega-3. And if you look at what we should have, it's actually a 3-to-1 or better. A lot of science show also, according to World Health Organization, we should have a 5-to-1 or better. And the average is 15-to-1 in Europe. In US, it's actually as bad as 25-to-1. So what separates our product from many products out, I would say, is that we actually do a blood test, a little prick in the finger, and we send this to Vita's lab, which is actually an independent laboratory. So it's not Zinzino that do the test, independent laboratory, which is important as well to know that it's independent. So then you can actually, you do a test, send it to the laboratory, and then you start using the product. So you actually see your score at day 0. Then you use the product for 4 months and you send in a second test. And it shows that 95% of the people in Europe is out of balance, meaning a 3-to-1 or higher. In US, it's actually 99% is out of balance. So I would say I'm very proud of representing these products with a test, because when it comes to supplements, often it's, I would say, marketing over science, because often it's a guessing game if it really makes a difference. And with a test, no more guessing game. So people can tell me, yeah, but Marco, I believe I get everything from the diet. I don't need to take a supplement. Great. You know what? Let's do the test, because if you're in balance, meaning 3-to-1 or better, you don't need our product. And then there's a money back guarantee. So I would recommend take the test, then you know. Then I just ask them, do you really care about your health? They say, of course. Great. Then we need to do the test. So you don't have to walk around and guess. So this has been a very simple concept to share with my environment. Well, I just ask my friend, I just say, okay, Lucas, is your health important for you? He said, yeah, of course. And I said, okay, so if there were a test that can show if your diet is good or bad for you, would you do that test? And often they say, absolutely. Or they say, tell me more. Then I share, of course, the balance concept. And also what's very simple, what I use is the customer presentation brochure. So you don't have to be an expert on this. I mean, I'm not a doctor. I'm not an expert. I just share simple science. And if you want to know more in depth, I highly recommend go to zinzino.com or zinzino.tv, where there's great videos with a scientist, Dr. Paul Clayton, professor from Oxford, where he explains more about the concept, and you have other product presentations. And also one page I like to refer to is pubmed.com. We actually can go and see official science, which shows, you know, we can go and write omega-3, omega-6 ratio and read what science says about this. And not only hear from us to represent a product. So the test is a game changer. So this is our main product. Outside of the balance oil, I also have to add that you can get in balance in multiple ways. This is the fish oil, the main product. Then actually the company came out with a vegan version a couple of months ago, derived from microalgae, so no fish, just algae. So very good product as well. Then Zinzino also have another version, which is a water-soluble version called Aqua X. So if you have somebody you know that have a hard time swallowing oils, I can highly recommend Aqua X, which is, you can just drip it in your morning juice or in the water, and it's actually soluble. So I would say it disappears to 95 to 98%. That is something I highly recommend to try if you have problems with swallowing oil. And outside of the balance concept, Zinzino also has something called Extend, which has all important vitamins, minerals to boost your immune system, but also something called beta-glucans. Also a word that can sound complicated. Highly recommend write down beta-glucans and Google the positive effects of beta-glucans. So that's the Extend product. It's pills. Then another product is something called Viva, based out of saffron. And there is studies that prove that the Viva product with saffron, which is based on saffron, has a good effect on stress, on mood, and many people with sleeping troubles has had a huge effect with the Viva as well. So that's something I can highly recommend you to try. And outside of that, we have shakes in 4 different tastes. 2 of them are actually vegetarian versions, and really a great shake with probiotics to really balance your gut. Outside of that, we have a fiber blend, which also is very good. But you know, a lot of information, a short amount of time. That's why I highly recommend go to zinzino.com and check the product line. And what is good as well that we work with health and anti-aging from the inside, but also from the outside, having a serum also there, check the ingredients. I've checked with some skin experts, which has been very, very impressed with our serum as well. So this is something I feel is very, very important for me. If I'm going to represent products, number one, it's something I want to use myself, because I have many friends out there in the sales industry that are selling things they don't want to use themselves to strangers. But I'd rather recommend something to my family and friends that actually has a huge positive impact on their health, but also something that I every day use myself. So every day, I wake up, I take the Balance Oil, I take Extend. We also have protein bars, which I didn't mention, also vegan alternatives. So every day I take the Balance Oil, I take the Extend, I take the vegan bar, I take the shake, and I take the serum. So, and I take the fiber blend as well. So it's actually 6 products from Zinzino that I use daily. So this is why, you can hear, I'm coming on here presenting and sharing from my heart something I'm using myself. So diving from the product part into the business part of Zinzino. This is a business presentation, right? So what is the difference and direct sales and this style of marketing? Why is it an opportunity for you, for me, with this great product? It's because of the style of marketing means that direct sales, the company, number one, they don't pay celebrities to come on commercials and pay them a lot of money to stand there and smile. And in some cases, product they use. In some cases, it's products they don't use. But they get paid. They stand there and smile. And since you don't pay celebrities to be in a commercial. And number two, they take away all the middle steps from manufacturer to end consumer. So that's why we can get paid to create a customer base. We can get paid to refer, to sell these products through our personalized web shops. So this industry, in my terms, when somebody asks me, how would you explain the style of marketing? When you say style of marketing, I call this people's franchise. And I call it, we're building it because we have a web shop, so it's e-commerce. I'm building a franchise concept out of an e-commerce. Meaning, just if you started a franchise, probably many of you heard about, the Golden Wings, the big hamburger franchise concept. If you started the Golden Wing, you would earn money 2 ways. One income stream is customers coming to your store, buying hamburgers in that case. Second income stream, because they make a franchise out of it, every time somebody open a franchise store in Madrid, Barcelona, Stockholm, Oslo, whatever city, you have the license holder of franchise. You earn actually a percentage of every store's sales. This is what I saw with this business. I could build my own online franchise concept where to get started, you only need to buy a starter kit. And this is what I saw because I looked at starting my own business. The first idea I had was actually Italian clothing brand I wanted to bring to Sweden back in 2007, but I needed over 300,000 euros. I didn't have 300,000 euros on a bank account, and I don't have a father or something I can call and say, hey, I need 300,000 euros. So we never got started. And here I saw this business and I thought, wow, I can build it in my tempo. I can start a business for less than 1,000 euros because there's 3 starter kits if you want to get started. The one I recommend is the biggest one, which is 950 euros, and you get products worth the double, even more than the double, and you get a web shop already done in more than 10 languages. So just set up a web store in over 10 languages with a store and everything. Just that costs often much more than 1,000 euros. And then you get products for it. So I can start a business, I get my web shop, but I get the product, so I can use the product. Because if I'm going to represent the product, I want to use them myself, right? So after reading the science, I thought this is something I want to use. but I also saw that this is something I feel my mother, my father, my friends, they need to get in balance. That's why I recommend you go in and read more about the omega-6, omega-3 ratio and all the benefits it has. Then you're going to feel that this is something my mother has to use. I almost force her. So getting started, people want to hear your testimonies, right? You have tried the product, then you can share it from the heart. So get started with that package, or else there's another one, a mid-pack with, you also get 10 tests in the big package. So you can start testing people in your family. Or also what I recommend once you get started, when I sign up a new customer, I want to give them the oil and the test immediately. And then I'll just tell them, I make a test on you immediately. I give you the oil. And once you get your package, I come and get my test and oil. So you can start using it immediately. And then with a mid package for 650 euros, there's also a mix of all the products, less than the big package, but there's only 3 tests. Then, of course, there's a smaller package for 230 euros. We don't get a mix of all the products, but you get the main product, you get the test, and 1 serum. But of course, I recommend to start with the biggest package. So you have the product, you try it themselves. But of course, I live in Spain, and of course, there's some people that they couldn't fix more than 230 euros. The most important thing is, if you're going to start, get started, use the product, take the test, and get in balance yourself, of course. So the business side, once you get started, there's, a customer referral program. So for you as a partner, also for your customers, if they use something and they feel, positive benefit of products, it's natural we refer or recommend our friends. We see a movie that touches us, we're going to recommend it to our friends. Same here. So many of my customers, they want to refer people in the family. So if they're a customer, they can actually refer 4 other customers and they get their product for free. Then if you want to become a partner and get your web store, so how would it look like if you get started? Number 1, you order a starter kit, so you get your web store, and immediately from there, your business is set up. And then from there, number 1, what I always tell people to get started, because you have the person who presented the business to you, invited you to this presentation, they're going to help you get started. So number 1, they want to know your goal. What do you want out of your Zinzino business? So when I get somebody started, what I want to know is, what do you want out of your business? So I know I can help them make a plan, because some people do this for an extra income. Some people do this for a bigger extra income. Then some people do this because they want a career change, or maybe you're like me. I think big, and I saw the potential of the industry, and I felt if I'm going to do this, there has to be huge potential, or else I won't do it. That's how I am. So when you start, it's all about you. If you do this for 200 euros extra, or if you do this for huge income, it's up to you. It's both possible, but of course, the more you want, the harder work it will take, of course. So you get started with a package, you get your page, then goal can help me make a plan. And with the goal, Zinzino has some fast start bonuses and a simple system to follow, because just like a franchise, there's a simple system. In the golden M, for example, there's a manual on doing every step, every product in that restaurant, how to do everything. And once you get started in your starter kit, you also get the presentation brochures, the customer brochures, but you also get an express start, a step-by-step process, how you can build your business. But the fast start, so the first steps to keep it simple, there's a bonus if you help 4 customers to get an auto ship, a 6-month subscription, because then they pay the product on discount, they get a discount, but also get the test included in that package. 6-month subscription, get 4 customers on the subscription within your first 30 days. And here you earned around 180 euros. And then at the time, get 4 customers, but you at the same time get 4 partners that you want to build a business with. 4 customers, 4 partners. Then you earn another around 180 euros. So here you made around 350 to 400 euros, which is good for part-time business your first month. And then within first 60 days, if you get 6 more customers, meaning total 10 customers, so 4 customers, 4 partners, 6 more, which means you have 10. So we call it 4, 4, 10. If you do the 10 within 60 days, you earned another 400 euros. Many want to do this the first 30 days, and already here, you made your money back in investment to start your business. And traditional business, this study is old, I read 10 years ago, it was average 3 to 5 years before they started making a profit in a traditional business, right? And here you can be profitable already your first month. So to get started, 4 for 10, but then how do you get the 4 for 10? You start with writing a list where I would highly recommend write 50 potential customers that you only want to talk health with. You only want to have them as customers, and 50 potential business partners, 50 plus 50. Then you take top 10 from those 2 lists and start number 2, 1 list, and then number 2, inviting them. In the Express Start, you can read how to do an effective invitation. I would say the invitation process is key when you're brand new. When I get somebody started, I'm going to sit with them, help them invite the right way, because of less is more. If you try to sit there and explain over the phone, I can promise nobody will be interested. I want to show them the full picture. I want to sit down with them and make a presentation, because when people see the full picture, there's substance behind the product, and there's logic in the concept. So no matter if it's a potential customers or potential partner, it's very effective if you invite the right way. I would say invitation is probably the first skill you need to become proficient in to get your first results. But the person who invited you here today will help you do that. And then also what makes your start also easy is that the presentation you invite them to, your sponsor invited you today, will actually make the presentation for them. And at the same time they present your contact, they're actually educating you. And then, of course, next step, education. Like in everything you want to do, you need to become educated, right? I mean, whatever job you're going to start, you need some basic skill sets, depending what job it is, right? And in some professions, you need to study many years to have the basic skill sets to even enter those professions. So just like here, I would say if you're brand new, see your first 3 to 6 months as education. Be patient with yourself, and the good news is that you got what it takes to be successful and reach your goals, no matter how big or small goals you have, because the skills necessary to be successful here is actually skills that anybody can learn. To write a list, I think that's pretty simple. Today with Facebook, you can just take 50 plus 50 out of your 450 friends on Facebook. So the list is already done. Just choose 50 plus 50 from them. And then to invite, to make a phone call, I highly recommend. I always make sure I call them if it's a person I want to have business with, and then sit down with them, right? So invite is also skills that you can learn, right? And then to present, you sit next to your sponsor, the person who got you started in the business, and you listen to them a couple of times, and then you get into it. Then you learn how to do it. And then education, we have events, we have webinars, and presentations like this. We can invite people, and you can also sit in and hear from different successful people and learn how they present. And a next big event I would highly recommend is the last weekend of June and first days of July is something called Leader School in Oslo. We're going to hear from, the scientists, you're going to hear from the founders, you're going to hear from corporate staff, you're going to hear from all the top leaders around the world within Zinzino, and you're also going to hear from speakers that are flying in, a British speaker, which is amazing, and one of the best speakers I ever heard in my life, that are flying in from the States. So no matter if this is a part-time thing for you or something you feel like could be a career for you, I'd highly recommend get a ticket for leader school, be there, because if you just got started or you start a couple of months ago, or even if you start a year, 2 years from now ago, and you haven't been to one of those big events, you haven't even got started, right? Because I say if you haven't been to those big events, that is like you're not really educated yet because you haven't seen the full picture. You haven't really seen what's possible until you've seen the big events, because just coming there and hear from people, I mean, for example, when I started in this industry, now I'm 35. I know I look 27 still, but I was 25 when I started. I'm 35 now. So I was 25 years old. And when I got started, actually, my sponsor told me, you need to meet the founders. You need to meet the doctors. Because you say you want to make a career of this, you need to go to the next big event. I said, if you say I need that, I'll be there. Where is it? And he said, it's in Las Vegas. Las Vegas? Isn't there any one on space as well? In space? So it was January, I was 25, and when I was employed, there was always, too much months left at the end of the money. So to go to Las Vegas and book that like that and go 2.5, 3 weeks later, was tough. But he said, if you want the kind of results you say you want, and you're willing to pay the price, you will find a way. Because if you want what 1 out of 1,000 people have, you have to be willing to do what 1 out of 1,000 people are willing to do. And I thought, and I said, absolutely, you're right. Can you borrow me half the flight ticket? And do you know anybody I can share the hotel room with? He actually I borrowed half the flight ticket. And then he said, yeah, there's a guy called Bill. He has a hotel room. And I said, could you ask Bill if I could share the room and give him my part in end of February when I get the salary for my job? And so, either if you want it bad enough, you will find a way, or else probably you will find an excuse, right? And I wanted it so bad, the lifestyle I saw, you were telling me people were having. So I went to Las Vegas, and when I came to the big event, there is where I made a decision. I'm going to make this my full-time thing because I wanted money and time freedom. I wanted that. And you know what? I'm so happy today that I made a decision to pay the price, because this industry, you can hear I'm talking from my heart, 100%. This industry, to be able to work with people, number one, you learn what you need to learn, you get results and grow yourself. And then, you climb the ladder yourself, then you turn around and pass it on and help people succeed. I have to say, because of somebody invested their time into me and coached me in business, in leadership, I grew a lot as an individual, but also helping people with their health, also helping people with the financial part. And also many of you want to help people with their health. And one big factor for health issues is stress. And one big factor for stress is actually financial stress. So if you can help people with their health and then the financial part, we're actually really helping them, in even more stronger way, right? So, and then of course all the relationships, all the world, and and now I can tell you this business, I've done it full time for 9 years, and now I've been with Zinzino 1 year and 7 months, and I have now around 4,000 customers. And the goal for Zinzino is by end of 2020, I have 1 million customers. Today, Zinzino has a little less than 150,000. And to 2035, to have Zinzino want to have 20 million customers and be #1 company in this industry. And I can tell you, you can come in today and be #1 in this company if that's what you want. And many of you come in and want to, just build a secondary income stream outside of your job. I can tell you, I don't know any other business I could have started at 25, start with less than 1,000 euros, put 7 hours a week, and then start helping people with health and sit, drink coffee and talk about health and business and created, the freedom I've been privileged to have the last years. And now I'm very eager to pass it on and help people reach their goals. And one of the biggest passions in my life is to help people believe in their dreams. But even more important than that, help people believe in themselves. Because I was a person, I wanted more than I was living, but I didn't really believe in it because I thought the soccer would give me that lifestyle, when I was growing up, and all of a sudden I was realizing that maybe I won't play Juventus, and that dream kind of died, and this industry let me dream about bigger things again. So no matter if you do this, for a second income stream, a 500 euro extra, or you're just like me, a little half crazy and want to create huge things and really make a big dent in this universe. And, I want to create my own charity with my team and everything, and I'm going to do that. And I believe in the more I have, the more I can give. So I think it's great to have a lot, because then you can give a lot. If you like what you heard, tell the person that invite you that you're ready to partner up and help this company get a couple of 20 million people in balance over the next almost 20 years. I would highly recommend let the person that invited you let you know, because now you're one of 3 people. Tell that person if you're A, B, or C. A means you're ready to go. Maybe you haven't really understood 100%, but you understand the potential of this and you're ready to go, then you're A. Or B, it means you need more information. Or if you're a C, that means thanks for inviting me. It's a nice 40 minutes, or you thought it was a waste. That's okay. C means thanks for inviting me, but this is nothing for me, which is totally okay, because the person invited you, they believe so strongly in this business, this product, that actually, I would say they did you a favor to invite you. But there's nothing that's right for everybody, right? So you're either A, B, or C. Let the person who invited you know if you're A, B, or C, and hope to meet all of you in Oslo, last days of June at Leader School. And let's get this world in balance over the next decades together. Thank you very much, and have a great last hours of this Sunday. Ciao, 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 ciao.